Let's talk about a 12-volt cooler and why you might want to consider one for your setup. Stick around and we'll get right to it. Hey, welcome back guys. Jason, KM4ACK. Today I wanted to take just a few minutes to take a look at this BougeRV 12-volt cooler. Now, this is out of their Rocky series and it is a 55 quart as listed on their website. I've been wanting to take a look at these for quite some time, both when we're out in the RV and when I'm doing things like field day or maybe even a Parks on the Air activation. Those are kind of my primary use cases for something like this. But after I've seen it and I've seen the efficiency as far as power consumption goes, I'm really starting to think that this would be a good thing in an emergency as well. Now, it is designed to run on 12 volts, and I'm planning to power this with a 100 amp hour battery. From the testing that I've done, I'm going to get roughly 60 hours of runtime from a 100 amp hour battery, even if I don't have solar connected to it. Now, granted, when I did my test, I was doing that in a controlled environment, so it was inside the house and it was roughly 70 degrees during that test. So if we're outside on a sunny day, well, that's probably going to reduce the runtime on that battery if those temps are higher than 70 degrees. However, when you combine this with something like a 200 watt solar panel that'll produce somewhere around 10 to 12 amps of power for you, feeding that back into the battery, well, now not only can you run a cooler like this all day long, but you can actually be taking that excess power that's generated by the solar panel and feeding it back into the battery to charge it. Now, let me show you guys around this cooler. All right, so looking at it from the front here, you can see it is a mostly stainless steel design. Now, that's both good and bad. I like stainless steel because it is usually rugged. I don't like it because, well, it's a fingerprint magnet, and my fingerprints are all over this thing already. Down there in the corner, bottom right over there, you can see the battery that I'm using to run this unit with right now. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on camera, but this is the control unit for the cooler itself. Notice that I've got two different temperatures here right now. One is for the freezer, the other is for the refrigerator. I'll show you guys in just a second though, you can use this as just a refrigerator or just a freezer as well, so you can run in 3 different configurations. It does have a couple of USB charging ports right here if you wanted to plug your phone in and recharge it. It also has a Bluetooth app, and I'm very happy to report that you don't have to create an account with their Bluetooth app before you can control this refrigerator. So it's super nice to be able to control this over Bluetooth with your phone, but without having to create an account on some unknown server before you can access that feature. On the opposite side, we've got a nice touch of having a bottle opener built right in, and we have handles that we will fold out when you need them, but auto retract when we're not using them. Taking a look at the inside, this compartment over here on what is the camera right is the freezer space. This over here is the refrigerator space. It does have nice baskets that we can utilize, or you can remove the baskets and utilize that as well. Now remember, I told you you could use this as a freezer and a refrigerator. Well, here's the cool part. If we simply remove, let's see if I can get a hold of this. If we simply remove this center divider right here, now this entire area can be either a refrigerator or a freezer. And that control unit over there will only be showing 1 temperature control now instead of showing 2. And I believe this thing works with magnetic sensors to know when this is in and when this is not in the cooler. And it automatically updates those controls for you. So if we take a look at the controls now, you can see that I've only got 1 temperature adjustment right there instead of the 2 that we saw just a minute ago. So I'll be super excited to get this thing out on our next adventure. Now, if you want to know kind of some of the long-term reviews on items like this, be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. There's a link down in the description below, and I often do long-term reviews and follow-ups to products in that newsletter that comes out every Tuesday. I promise I won't spam you. You just get one newsletter every Tuesday morning. If you found today's information helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.